I was told this broken axe head is junk. Crack of death, my ass. Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. To be fair to the dude who said it was junk, a crack in the eye of the axe head typically is considered a fatal flaw. But today, using questionable welding techniques and a janky homemade forge, we're going to repair and restore this bone anchor and create a fully functional, almost antique, badass log splitter that could outwork any of the crap axes being sold today. The first step, of course, is removing the rust. So after dry cleaning with a wire brush, I soaked it in a useless commercial rust remover and decided to give it a wet scrub using water and detergent. A high-speed wire wheel finished the job, and now you can see the wear on this tired old piece. I'm going to repair this axe using what's known as a root weld, and the first step of that is creating a bevel at the side of the crack. When joining thick material, pieces are often beveled and spread apart with a thin gap, also called a root opening. The initial root weld will hopefully bridge that gap, completely melting through the back side of it and creating an even bead on the back side of the joint. In this case, it would be on the inside the eye of the head. For those of you not familiar with axe terminology, the eye is the part where the handle sticks through the head. Tell me that's not a thing of beauty. I am warming the metal before trying to press the two sides of the crack together. Oh, big stretch. She looks so young here. Now she's old and grizzled just like her dad. I'm using a vise to try and push these edges together. Here I'm just practicing my bead line, but what you're about to see is so embarrassing. I swear it wasn't me, I just couldn't see out of the dark welding helmet. This first pass is the root weld, which, if done properly, will fuse the two edges of the gap together. After inspecting and cleaning the initial weld, a second pass is made to burn any impurities and even out high spots. I've seen this sometimes called a hot pass. I've never used that term. At this point, I'm several passes in. I'm simply filling the rest of the gap I created when cutting out the bevel. I finish with a cap pass that tops off the entire thing. After welding, I wrap the metal in several layers of towel to allow the metal to cool slowly. If it cools too fast, it could warp or even break. It's ugly, but it might work. Several hours later, it's still almost too hot to touch. Now it's time to grind down some of the ugly. Let's see if we can make a good looking repair. I have to be super careful here not to cut to the manufacturer's stamp. Be honest, it's not the worst thing you've seen, right? The new seam looks a little too neat compared to the rest of the face, so I'm going to mar it up a little bit to match the rest of the pitting on the surface. The cutting edge is absolute trash. An internet search tells me that a 25-degree angle is good for a general purpose axe. hell? Nice. By the way, if you enjoy watching me make a fool of myself, stay until the very end when I show why being a lumberjack is probably not a future career option for me. Not bad for a first pass, but I'll have to come back later and do a final sharpening. Welding on metal heats it to temps well over 1,000 degrees. This can damage any prior heat treatment that was applied in the past to harden the steel. I want to heat treat this blade, but I don't have a forge, so I'm making one out of bricks and dirt from my backyard. I start a fire using regular wood, but eventually add hardwood charcoal and forced air to create extreme burn. While the forge preheats, I turn to prepping a handle. This is a store-bought handle made of hickory and is completely suitable for my needs, but it's got this terrible lacquer finish that must be obliterated. The law requires it. Almost ready. For some unknown reason, I decided to sand this thing all the way down to a 1000 grit. The steel hardening process involves 3 steps. The first is heating the metal until it reaches a critical temperature, which is what I'm doing here. I test for critical temperature by using a magnet. Iron actually becomes non-magnetic at critical temp. Second step of hardening is rapidly cooling the hot metal. Here I'm using heated oil to do so. Fun fact, magnetism returns as the metal cools. Hardened steel is brittle, like glass type brittle. If I drop this axe head on the ground, it would probably shatter. The next step, the final step of hardening, is tempering. I know it's hardened because my file won't bite into the metal. To temper hardened steel, it must be heated to an elevated temperature and then be allowed to slowly cool. I do this several times. This relieves internal stress and restores elasticity to the steel. You can see how my file now bites into it better. The last step, of course, is attaching the axe head to the handle. If you've made it this far in the video, thanks for being here. If you enjoyed watching, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with a friend. Also, please leave a comment telling us what you think about it, good or bad. Every bit of interaction helps a small channel like this one. I end up using linseed oil as a finish. I applied probably 4 or 5 different layers, waiting about 12 or 24 hours between coats. So, remember this so-called piece of junk? And remember when I said being a lumberjack is probably not an option for me? I don't even know where that one went. Thank you for watching.